Welcome back. In this lesson, we're gonna learn how to use the toChar function to convert characters to characters and numbers to characters. For the first example, it might sound confusing why we would want to convert characters to a character. When we look at our first example, we are passing to our toChar function some text, and simply this function is gonna return that text back, right? While this might not seem very useful at first moment, but also the characters passed into that function can be CLOB or NCLOB data types, so large character objects. And some parts of our code might not work correctly when dealing directly with NCLOB and CLOB data types, so it is important to remember to use the toChar function and passing those values to it. When we are converting a number to a character, this is pretty much straightforward when dealing with plain number. So in my next example, I'm using the toChar and I'm passing into it a number. Although over here an implicit conversion would happen because I'm using the concatenation, especially on job sites, it is wise to use explicit conversion from numbers to characters. Of course, when passing in the number to my toChar function, I can use also the decimal number, and the result is completely the same. In my third example, which is the most important, especially for the exam, is when we use the overloading on the toChar function, where I can use the format mask, and of course, as we learned in previous lesson, the NLS parameters as a third parameter for the toChar function. The mask that we are using when converting a number to a character, it is done by the same table that we learned in last lesson. So you can refer to that table or check the resources in this one. So in my example, my first parameter is the number, which we are converting to a character format, and the second parameter is the mask. So you can see in this case, when I pass the number 1 to 3, we're gonna get the $ and 1 to 3. Let's execute this. As you can see, this came out correctly. Of course, I can use also the decimal number. When I execute this, I get the rounding of that number because in our mask, we have a mask to put it to $ and 3-digit number. If that number is lower, we're not gonna get the trailing 0. But if I pass into it, we're gonna get also that leading 0. And of course, I can put that, for example, to 1 decimal, right? And I'm gonna get that character outputted as by our formatting mask. Again, remember to refer to the table that's provided under the resources of this lesson or the one of the previous lesson because it uses the same formatting mask when converting the number to a character. This is it for this one, and see you in the next one.